Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the Thai Expat Daily Show. I'm your host, Kieran Mack, as always, and delighted you've been able to tune in with us yet again for another show. Now, before we get into today's top 4 stories trending here in Thailand, don't forget to like this video, and please do subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube will let you know when the next edition of the Thai Expat Daily Show is uploaded onto the platform. Now, if you like listening to us on a podcast player, there's a link below in the description where you will find all the available podcast players where the show is hosted. And finally, if you like the show, if you want to support the show, if you want to simply buy me a coffee, you can do so by looking down in the description for the link to buymeacoffee.com. So now that that's all done and dusted, let's jump into the top 4 stories trending here in Thailand. And the first one is Puatai dumps MFP forming new coalition. The Puatai Party, which came second in the May 14th general election, has dumped the election-winning Move Forward Party and will move to form its own coalition government because the MFP insists on amending the lese majeste law. Puatai leader Chanlan Sirkyu announced the move on Wednesday afternoon. The two parties were the main players in an 8-party alliance formed by the MFP in its bid to form a new government. The MFP has 151 House seats and the Puatai 141. Their alliance had 312 out of the 500 House seats. The MFP failed to win a majority vote from the joint sitting of the House and the Senate after nominating its leader, Pita Limjaroenrat, for Prime Minister on July 13th. It then allowed Puatai to take the lead in the formation of a coalition government. Most of the junta appointed senators and many of the elected MPs of other parties disagreed with its insistence on changing Section 112 of the Criminal Code, the lese majeste law. The Puatai leader told a press conference on Wednesday afternoon that after MFP failed to get the needed parliamentary support, the 8-party alliance assigned Puatai to woo more support from other parties and senators so a government could be formed. It turns out that they do not accept any change to Section 112, and some parties even stated that they will not join a government with Move Forward anyway, Dr. Chanlan said. Therefore, Puatai had told Move Forward during a meeting on Wednesday morning that it was withdrawing from the 8-party alliance and would nominate its own prime ministerial candidate, Srettha Thavisin, to the parliament. Puatai and Mr. Srettha will keep Section 112 intact and the new government will not have Move Forward in its coalition, he noted. He said the discussion with Move Forward on Wednesday morning was held in a positive atmosphere. Puatai will try to gather enough votes in the parliament and Move Forward will be in the opposition, he said. He would announce what parties would be in the coalition this week. A Puatai-led government would amend the constitution because it has obstructed the government's formation. Afterwards, the government would return power to the people and call a new general election, he said. He promised to support the beneficial policies of the MFP and said that Puatai would not mind if Move Forward does not vote for Mr. Srettha. Puatai will lift the nation out of crisis, Dr. Chanlan said. So, Puatai have decided to go it on their own. They've dumped the Move Forward Party out of the 8-party coalition that they had built, mainly because Move Forward have decided that they are going to have some morals in government, that they're going to keep their principles, and that they said to their supporters and their people, we will amend 112, the lese majeste law. Amend it, by the way, and only reducing the jail's terms that you would get in relation to this. It is refreshing to see the Move Forward Party have such principles when it comes to forming a government and leading. And it's unfortunate they'll be in the opposition. But again, I think Puatai, if they go into government with some of the names that are being bandied about at the moment, will not be doing themselves any good and maybe handing more seats over to the Move Forward Party in the next election that possibly will be less than 4 years, because as they said, the Puatai Party said they plan to redraw the constitution of the country. That will go to a vote, and if accepted, then they would call for a new general election after that to return power to the people, as they say. Well, we'll see what goes on there. Now, some more breaking news today, which was quite interesting, was the Charter Court has postponed Pita's renomination case to August 16th. The Constitutional Court decided on Thursday to postpone to August 16th the consideration of the ombudsman petition for the court to rule on the constitutionality of Parliament's decision by a majority vote to reject the renomination of Move Forward Party leader Pita Limjaroenrat as Prime Minister. The court also decided to postpone the issuance of an injunction to suspend the Prime Ministerial selection process as requested by the Ombudsman to the same date. The court ordered the Ombudsman to submit a report by August 15 on the status of the 3 individuals who petitioned the Ombudsman challenging the constitutionality of Parliament's decision. Now, meanwhile, the House Speaker Wan Muhammad Nur Matha has ordered the postponement of the joint sitting of Parliament scheduled for today to select the Prime Minister, until there is a ruling from the court regarding Pita's renomination. So the vote that was meant to be today for the prime ministerialship has been cancelled. And it's been cancelled pretty much indefinitely until we hear from the Constitutional Court and exactly what they're going to say. So they're going to make a ruling now on August 16th, which is, nearly 2 weeks away. And if they do accept the case, and a lot of legal scholars are saying this case could be accepted by them because there's no precedence for this. In essence, what the Parliament are saying is if you're nominated once and you're rejected, you can't be renominated again. And it does sound a little nonsensical. Now, there seems to be nothing within the Constitution about this. There seems to be no rules or regulations regarding it because maybe it's a problem nobody ever envisioned in the before, but of course they didn't have 250 junta senators deciding to do what their paymasters tell them. Nevertheless, it could be a month before we even see a prime ministerial candidate, or it may not. This could drag on a long time. They're reluctant to have a prime ministerial vote while this case is with the Constitutional Court. The reason being that if they nominate someone and then for prime minister, they're accepted, he becomes prime minister, for example, and the Constitutional Court then ruled that, what they did was illegal by not allowing Pita to run again. Well, this opens up that prime minister from being removed and lawsuits, etc. So they're trying to be careful about it, but it does seem like a complete and utter mess. That's my take on the whole thing. How long is Thailand not going to have a working government and a working prime minister? It's been, the election was May 14th. We're in August now. That's 3 months now. This could go on 4, 5, 6 months. Who knows? It is very, very strange, but again, it's Thai politics for you, and this is how things, really rock and roll here. So moving along, and of course, one of the instigators of everything, and no surprise with this announcement that the prime ministerial vote has been cancelled till at least the middle of the month, is the sudden rumours afloat that Thaksin is likely to postpone his return to Thailand amid delay in government formation. Well, we could, imagine the idea that he wouldn't come back on August 10th because there's no government formed, nobody to help him out when he gets there. And I guess this is what he's hoping for because he is, as we know, facing a 10-year prison sentence when he steps on Thai soil. Former Prime Minister Thaksin Return is likely to postpone his return to Thailand due to ongoing uncertainties over the formation of a new government, a source familiar with the matter said on Thursday. Thaksin, who has lived in self-imposed exile overseas since August 2008, had earlier said he would be flying back to Bangkok's Don Mueang airport on August 10th. Now, apparently the flight's about 10:30 in the morning, they're expecting him. The announcement late last month has come from his daughter, Pattaya, who is one of the 3 prime ministerial candidates of the Pheu Thai Party. Thaksin would like to schedule his return after a new government is formed, when the political situation gets more stable, the source said. The ex-PM has been sentenced to 10 years imprisonment during his absence from Thailand in multiple cases. He is expected to start serving his time in prison after his return, although he is eligible to apply for a royal pardon. The latest developments on the delay in Thaksin's return come amidst reports that the parliamentary vote on Thailand's next prime minister would not be held today. Puatai is gathering support from political parties in the outgoing coalition government in a bid to form a new administration after the second largest election winner on Wednesday ended its alliance with the Move Forward Party, which won the largest number of MP seats in the May 14th general election. Puatai, who is regarded as Thaksin's proxy, is facing a dilemma. It is trying to avoid including Palang Pracharath and the United Thai Nation Party, which are associated with outgoing Deputy Premier General Prawit Wongsuwang and outgoing Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha, respectively, as the 2 generals are linked to the 2004 military coup and the subsequent junta. Linked, they were the people who started it all. But Puatai also needs majority support from both House of Parliaments, and voters from senators are necessary for its candidates to elect the Prime Minister. Both Prayut and Prawit are believed to retain their influence over many of the 250 senators they appointed while serving in the post-coup junta. So there's no real surprise that Thaksin isn't going to turn up. Now, it's not confirmed or anything, but it's certainly the rumour that has been going around on social media and within the news media. As I've said in this show, I would be highly doubtful that he's ever going to turn up. because I don't think he has the kahunas, the balls to turn up. I don't think he has what's inside of him to do 10-year prison term. At the end of the day, this guy wants to stroll back after being convicted, by the way. Some of the things that he was convicted for, I think, are legitimate things that he has done that you would, as a political holder, get jail time for. If you look in the likes of South Korea, how many ex-prime ministers or presidents or whatever they have there have ended up in jail for long periods of time, CEOs and whatnot. So, I mean, in other Asian countries, people are locked up for their wrongdoing. Here in Thailand, what they do is they let them escape out of the country as quickly as possible, and never go after them. Like, I'm no fan of the junta. I'm no fan, though, of Thaksin Shinawatra, because I think he is partly the problem with this country. Another one that I think needs to be maybe put out the pasture along with the rest of these junta guys. I think Thailand needs a fresh start. And this guy seems to like keeping himself in the headlines all the time. Well, I'm coming back August 10. Now I'm not. And I'll drag that on for another month. At the end of the day, is it really realistic that a 70-something-year-old man is coming back to Thailand to do a 10-year prison sentence? And at the same time, he says, I dream about coming back to Thailand, to take my grandchildren to school every day. Well, you won't be doing that in prison, mate. So it's hard to know what's going on here. I don't think everybody would be very happy to think that deals will be done so that he basically goes to prison for a couple of days and then he gets out in a royal pardon. I don't think a lot of people will be happy with that either. But nevertheless, we'll keep our eye on it, and of course we'll bring it to you as soon as we hear more. And finally, Maya Bay is closing for natural rehabilitation, though I actually thought they were meant to close every year for 6 months. Maya Bay, made famous by the Hollywood blockbuster The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio 23 years ago, will be closed for 2 months during the monsoon season for the purpose of natural rehabilitation. It was closed off to the public and tourism from Tuesday, August 1st until September 30th, said Ratchanak Panoy, chief of the Hat Naparat PP National Park, reported local media. She said it is also being done for tourist safety, as strong waves during the rainy season will make it difficult for boats to dock at Lo Sama Bay on Koh Pile, which is within walking distance of Maya Bay. It reopened for tourists on January 1st last year after being off limits for 3.5 years due to overcrowding, which led to the destruction of coral reefs and its marine ecology. Since last year, the park has capped the total number of tourists to about 4,000 a day and does not allow people to swim in the bay in order to protect the island's sensitive ecology. The park forbids tourist boats from docking at the bay, but has a pier at Lo Sama for them. Maya Bay will be closed every year during monsoon season from now on, the park said. Ms. Ratchatnak said the break will help restore its ecology. Now, as I said at the beginning, I always thought that the new rule was that it would be closed basically for the entire monsoon season. But it's only going to be 2 months. I'm not sure, is 2 months enough time to help regenerate the local ecology, but nevertheless, it does seem like they're taking things a lot more serious after, what's transpired over the last number of years in relation to some of the natural resources here in Thailand. Anyway, folks, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. As always, we'll be back to you in the next couple of days. Again, there's a storm out there and it's very rainy, so please be careful when you're out and about. And as always, stay safe, and thanks again. Take care, and we'll see you soon. But ultimately, with this story or anything else that stood out to you today, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Because yes, this is a news show, but it's also a conversation. Now keep that conversation going. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and do all the good stuff that does help that YouTube algorithm. But ultimately, my name is Kieran Mack. You've been listening to the Thai Expat Daily Show, and we will see you next time.